Hello, all, and welcome to your Friday afternoon beer review. A little bit of review bra, a little bit of Christopher Walken there, I guess. So, what is it that we are reviewing now at 5:20 in the afternoon? Why do I always go and timestamp these videos? I don't know. I just do. We're going to be reviewing a local brewery, so that means this video probably won't get much traction. The stuff that I like to review the most and stuff that I probably do make the most reviews of has the least amount of, views and engagement. But I didn't make this channel to go and become like big. I made it to document my reviews of various beers, and thank you to all of you who are here for it. And, you know, if it's not your jam, it's not your jam. So, what is it that we are reviewing tonight? Or this afternoon, because it's not even 5:30 yet. Second beer I reviewed from Howzit Brewing. This is Par 3 Pilsner, the German style Pilsner. Yep. And yeah, let me get my glasses on so I can read the back here. Style Pilsner. Hops, Perle, Sapphire. ABV 4.9. Par 3 Pilsner tees up a classic German Pilsner with a modern swing. Pearly hops bring a gentle spice, while Sapphire carries a bright citrus snap. As crushable on the tee box as it is in the clubhouse. Every sip an ace. I can't look at my screen. My screen is all blurry now because this is reading glasses. Huh. How's it? Give it a little tappy tap tap. Give it a little tappy tap tap taparoo. Okay. Local beer equals local jobs. Yeah. So like I said, they're a fairly small brewery located out in Kakaako. And like Hanako, it seems like they constantly put out new beers and they don't really have like a solid roster that stays forever and ever. Though, like Hanako, it seems some of them do come back either slightly tweaked or the same. Um, you know, but again, one that's more about constantly bringing out new beers. And it's kind of interesting how the local Hawaii beer scene is kind of divided in between those that have like a standard roster and maybe like three seasonals on tap, and those that just constantly have like these different like 12 beers. Every time you go in is something new. But yeah, let's go and see what this is like. I have no idea. Got this from Bottleheads. And yeah, so we're just going to open it up and give it a shot in our Pilsner glass, shall we? Well, that was rude. Some of it just like shot right back on my shirt here, you can see. Okay. Yeah, it's really topped off, that's why. Okay. Light straw yellow. Fizzy head. Didn't produce much of it. Seems not as carbonated as a German Pilsner should be. It should be more visible carbonation there, especially since this glass tends to generate a lot of carbonation. Yeah, got some spice, citrus, flower, kind of sweet malt with whetstone. Okay, not quite the balance that I'm used to. A little bit sweeter smelling than I would venture for a German Pilsner. In fact, I didn't even go and see what the date when this was, but I don't see a bottle date on this, or a can date on this. Okay, onto the palate now. Hmm. It needs more carbonation. Um, with like a Pilsner, you're expecting a nice bite from the carbonation initially. Not getting that here. It's not flat by any means, but it's definitely kind of lacking in the fizz department there. Finish is not quite clean. There's some residual hoppiness that persists into a long finish. And in general, the hoppiness in the midst of finish is a bit overly resiny for the style. Yeah. Okay. Pilsners are hard to make. There's very little to hide behind if you make a mistake. Despite the sweetness on the nose, I would say that the malting is at the proper level in that it has a dry finish. A little bit too lemony, too much citrus kind of there. Um, it's not giving me like a German Pilsner vibe or a Czech Pilsner vibe. That said, it's not offensive to the palate, other than the general lack of carbonation. Or I shouldn't say lack of carbonation. There's carbonation there. You can see, though, it is very tiny bubbles. You're expecting something a little bit more active from something that was popped open just like 3 minutes ago. Well, 4 minutes ago at this point. Yeah, as it warms up and finishes, there's just too much lingering hop presence there in that finish. I give them credit though for trying the German Pilsner. Um, you'll kind of notice that a lot of local craft brewers, the smaller ones, kind of struggle with the low ABV lagers, be they Pilsners or Kolsch's or things like that. They're just difficult styles to pull off. This one doesn't pull it off. It doesn't give me that German Pilsner vibe. But again, like I said, German Pilsner, very narrow style. Pilsners in general, narrow style. Consider Czech, German. I guess, you could have American too, where you have a little bit more of a New World hopping. But, generally speaking, kind of want um, a very clean finish, crispness up front. This isn't crisp. This is not clean in the finish. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like these kinds of reviews where I have to go and point out negative aspects of a small business. Well, a product that a small local business offers. Um, I always give the caveat, could just be this batch, you know. And again, taste isn't offensive. It's just not to style. It is very not to style. And yeah, I would have forced carbonated this a little bit better. Um, yeah, I don't know. Be interesting to go and try it on draft. Go and see if it's a bit better with proper carbonation levels there. So I'm pretty sure when you go and pull it on draft, you can pretty much see what your end result is going to be there. So, Par 3 Pilsner, German style Pilsner from Howzit Brewing. It's just not the style, man. Sorry. And that, folks, well, I still got one can of the Veltons left. I'm probably going to have that after this so I can, just scratch that itch a little bit better. And that, folks, is your beer review for this afternoon. Cheers.